Have you ever tried standing perfectly still in the middle of a bustling intersection, watching the hurried stream of people rush by, and suddenly felt your chest weighed down by an invisible boulder? Have you ever reached out, scooped up a handful of dry sand, and tried with all your might to squeeze it tightly? As your fingers curl and your veins bulge in a forced effort, you will see the sand begin to slip through the gaps of your fingers. The tighter you squeeze, the less sand you retain, until only a few lifeless grains of dust remain scattered in the palm of your hand. Our lives, strangely enough, take the shape of that handful of sand. And the greatest suffering of modern humans, of you and me in these precarious days, does not come from poverty or deprivation, but from an invisible yet cruel illusion, the illusion of the power of control. You are tired, aren't you? Tired of constantly playing the role of the perfect pilot on this journey of life, where every turn must be calculated, every storm must be forecasted, and every relationship must fit neatly into a safe orbit that you have mapped out. We live in a century where humanity deludes itself into believing that everything can be weighed, measured, and manipulated. We stay awake through long nights, tossing and turning with what-ifs and supposed that's, weaving for ourselves a web of anxiety, only to try and capture a fragile thing called safety. But my dear friend, pause for just one breath. Listen to the wind rustling through the leaves outside. Does the wind ever try to hold on to a withered leaf when autumn arrives? Does the river ever tense up to prevent its bends or reject the rocks blocking its path? Nature always operates in a tranquil, rhythmic, and graceful flow, while humans bring tragedy upon themselves by intentionally building sturdy dams to block the impermanent current of the universe. The Buddha, beneath the Bodhi tree in times past, gently pointed out a truth that is profound, sharp, yet full of healing. The more we stubbornly hold on, the more we lose. The craving to control all things is the very root of all sorrow. Imagine a lotus flower glistening with morning dew. If, out of eagerness to admire its beauty, you use your hands to peel back each petal, you will not have a blooming flower. You will only hold a broken ruin in your hands. Love, career, or the future are just like that lotus. When you try to control someone you love, you strip away the freedom and natural beauty of that destined connection. When you try to manipulate every outcome, you take away the pure joy of the experiencing process. You gather the sorrows of tomorrow and place them on your shoulders right in the present moment, making your heart feel as suffocated as if walking through a fog with no way out. Control, ultimately, is just a fragile shell for fear. We fear uncertainty, we fear the unknown, we fear being hurt. But paradoxically, the very frantic effort to chase away that hurt is draining the lifeblood from our souls every single day. You are like someone clinging tightly to a rock in the middle of a rushing river, mistakenly believing that the rock will save you from drowning, without realizing that its sheer weight is dragging you deep down to the abyss. So where is the way out for those hands deeply scarred by trying to hold onto things that cannot be held? It is a quiet, simple concept, yet it carries the power to turn around an entire human lifetime. Letting go. Letting go is not falling down in defeat. It is not denying responsibility. And it is certainly not an attitude of cold indifference to the affairs of the world. In the light of primordial wisdom, letting go is an act of supreme courage. It is the moment you realize the limits of your own hands, only to smile and open them wide, letting the wind sweep away the sands of sorrow, keeping only the empty clear spaciousness of the mind. Today, in this tranquil space, let us brew a pot of mindful tea together. We will delve deep into deciphering why letting go is the best way to hold on, and why surrendering to the laws of the universe is the key to unlocking the door to freedom. Just take a deep breath and allow yourself to relax. Close your eyes for a moment and feel your own breath. Breathe in and slowly breathe out. Do you realize a miraculous law operating right within the beating rhythm of your own existence? To let a fresh stream of life-giving air fill your lungs, nourishing every cell, you are forced to push the old air out. Breathing out is the most primal, most natural form of letting go. If you stubbornly held on to that breath in your chest simply out of fear of emptiness, you would suffocate yourself in a desperate attempt to survive. Life out there also carries a shifting rhythm exactly like that breath, coming in and out. Buddhism calls that endless flowing rhythm impermanence. Impermanence is not a curse or a tragic verdict of fading away, but rather the beautiful anthem of life. Impermanence is the water that is always flowing, the cloud that is always drifting, the myriad things that are constantly transforming. Yet we spend our entire lives clinging to and building sturdy castles on the sand, praying for all things to freeze according to our will. When you try to control a person so they are not allowed to change their heart, control a job so it goes smoothly forever, or control a body so it never bears the marks of time, you are standing in direct opposition to the wheel of the universe. You are taking your tiny hands to block the magnificent waterfall of time. The overwhelming suffering comes not because things change, but because we have nurtured an arrogant illusion that we can order all things to stand still. Look at a dry branch floating gently on the surface of a calm river. That branch does not struggle, does not resent the water, nor does it try to swim against the wind. It completely entrusts its life to the support of the vast water, and thanks to that pure reliance, it reaches the immense ocean. We humans are different. Our intellect creates an ego, a proud and shining I, constantly wanting to rise up and act as the director for the play of reincarnation. When things go against our will, we suffer, we resent, we blame fate for not operating according to the exact script we took the trouble to write. Control, deep down inside, is the hybrid child of greed and attachment. In Buddhist philosophy, emptiness opens up for us a profound and penetrating perspective. All things and phenomena in the world arise from conditions and cease from conditions. They are not born naturally, nor do they disappear naturally, and they absolutely do not depend on the subjective will of the I. When you want to manipulate an outcome, you are turning your back on the countless, intricate karmic conditions operating silently in the dark. A sudden rainstorm does not pour down because it hates you and wants to soak your shoulders, but simply because the clouds high above have gathered enough moisture. Once you deeply understand this, you will see how fragile and comical your stubbornness truly is. You will stop playing the role of a weather-controlling god and begin to learn how to smile, calmly opening your little umbrella when the first drops of water touch the earth. My friend, who is carrying so many heavy thoughts, look back at your long, restless nights, the intricate plans written all over your mind, the worst-case scenarios drawn out to prevent risks, the calculating of losses and gains to protect yourself. We modern people seem to be trapped in a chronic illness named having to know everything in advance. We turn our lives into a dry mathematical equation where every variable must be put into a glass cage to be controlled.
But life is by no means a math problem with a ready-made answer. Life is a piece of music full of high and low notes, full of miraculous, improvised silences. The Buddha taught about the law of cause and effect, a law that is incredibly fair, but also overflowing with tolerance.
That law reminds you that your only and greatest power does not lie in forcing the outcome to blossom, but lies in planting and caring for wholesome seeds right in the present moment. Just like a farmer sowing seeds into the loose soil, he can diligently water, fertilize, and pull weeds, but he absolutely cannot force the seed to break through the earth and rise up by tomorrow. Nor can he use his hands to stretch the plant's stem so it grows tall instantly. He does everything he can with a devoted heart, then takes a step back, smilingly entrusting the rest to the warm sunlight, the wind, and the vast Mother Earth. That is the most beautiful and delicate boundary between absolute effort and gentle letting go. Letting go, therefore, has never been the surrender of a weakling, an evasion, or a retreat from the world. It is the awakening of a soul that has been through enough scratches, enough exhaustion, to realize that true strength lies in relaxing. When you abandon the need to mold others to your liking, you hand them the gift of freedom. And miraculously, the shackles in your own mind automatically shatter as well. When you remove the harsh expectations of a future that must be this way or that way, the dark clouds of anxiety instantly vanish, making way for the light of peace to shine right in this very second. Imagine your inner self as a crystal clear autumn lake. If you continuously throw the stones of craving and resistance into it, the lake will ripple and become murky. Your reflection will be distorted, and you will not be able to see the bright, clear moon shining upon you. But if you choose to sit in silence, letting all things happen as they are, the lake's surface will naturally become still, and then the entire starry night sky will perfectly encapsulate itself within your heart. You lose nothing when you let go. On the contrary, you receive the entire universe. You lose the narrow ego to merge into the vastness of heaven and earth. Only when your hands are willing to open up, no longer straining to tightly grasp any invisible handful of sand, will they have enough softness to cherish the fresh flowers that life brings. Let everything come as it needs to come, and go as it needs to go. Since ancient times, where misty mountain peaks were hidden by thousand-year clouds, there is a Zen anecdote that still whispers with the wind, weaving through the ancient pine canopies to find exhausted souls. The story goes that there was a certain merchant who had spent half his youth building a massive empire. He had in his hands everything the world desired: glittering gold and silver, a magnificent mansion, and the power to command others. However, behind that glamorous facade, his eyes always bore the red streaks of insomnia. He feared every gust of wind would blow away his roof, feared petty people eyeing his fortune, feared time would steal his vitality. He poured all his strength into erecting towering walls, laying down countless harsh rules to force those around him to live according to his will. But strangely enough, the higher the walls, the more insecure his heart became. The stricter the rules, the more his loved ones drifted away. Feeling as though he were drowning in the very kingdom he created, he decided to cross mountains and wade through streams, seeking out a quiet thatched hut on a snowy peak to beg an old Zen master for a remedy to soothe his heart. The Zen master, with a flowing white beard, as still as 1,000-year-old rock, quietly poured a cup of tea, fragrant with agarwood smoke, and handed it to the merchant. He just sat there, listening to every mournful complaint, every sigh full of resentment from the man who was bound by his own crown. When the sun dropped down, giving way to a thick night, the Zen master stepped out, motioning for the merchant to follow him behind the sutra library. There lay a small lotus pond, its water dark and as flat as a giant mirror. That night was a full moon night. The perfectly round moon hung across the sky, dropping onto the lake's surface a golden reflection of itself, radiantly bright and heartbreakingly beautiful. The Zen master smiled softly, his warm voice blending with the chirping of the crickets. What you are looking for is exactly like that shimmering moon at the bottom of the water. The jewel of the sky is lying right before your eyes. If you can scoop that moon up and place it in my hands, I will give you the key to eternal peace. The merchant, naturally accustomed to using strength and willpower to seize everything in the world, suddenly had his eyes light up. He thought this was merely a simple physical challenge. He hastily rolled up the flaps of his expensive silk robe, knelt down by the edge of the lake, his eyes glued to the glowing golden moon underwater. His veiny hands plunged swiftly into the freezing water, intending to grab hold of the light. However, the very moment his 10 fingertips touched the water, a wave rippled. The surface churned violently, and the perfectly round moon from a moment ago suddenly shattered into thousands of tiny, drifting fragments of light. Panicking, he pulled his hands back. The water slowly calmed, the shattered pieces reassembled, and the moon appeared once again, silently taunting him. Unwilling to concede, he tried again. This time he was more careful, cupping his 2 hands together to form a small ladle, holding his breath, slowly slipping them under the moon's reflection to scoop it up. But once again, his attempt to interfere shattered the tranquil mirror. Water slipped through his fingers, and the moon was torn to shreds. Frantically, he ran to find a wooden bucket, scooping wildly, water splashing everywhere and soaking his clothes. But in the dark wooden bucket, there were only soulless drops of water dripping away. There was absolutely no light at all.
After hours of struggling, the merchant collapsed onto the dew-soaked grass, breathing heavily, his sweat mixing with the cold lake water. His eyes were filled with helplessness and despair. He looked up at the Zen master, who was still standing with clasped hands in silent contemplation under the moonlight, and cried out, "I surrender. My hands are numb, my strength is exhausted. But Master, whenever I reach forward, it retreats. Whenever I squeeze tightly, it shatters. I cannot ever grasp and possess that moon." The Zen master slowly walked over, his brown robes fluttering gently in the night wind. He sat cross-legged next to the merchant, his eyes full of compassion, as if looking at a lost child. He gently pointed his hand down to the lake's surface, which was gradually flattening out again. "My son, hasn't the moon already returned? It didn't shatter because it rejected you, but because your brutal manipulation muddied its essence. To capture the moonlight, we do not use our hands to pounce on it. Put down the wooden ladle, withdraw your bleeding hands, relax your stiff, tense shoulders. Do nothing at all. Just sit in silence and allow the water to be at peace." The merchant fell silent, his arms dropping to his sides. The surroundings were unusually quiet. The water in the lake stood completely still. And then, a miracle happened. The entire radiant moon, without a single flaw, automatically reflected its full image into his eyes and landed gently on the open, relaxed palms of the merchant sitting on the grassy bank.
The moon in the lake that night is not just the story of that merchant from the past. It is the truest reflecting mirror of the life of each of us in this very present moment. You know, we often bring the mindset of the person trying to scoop up the moon into our own homes, into our workplaces, and into our deepest dreams.
We want our life partner to behave exactly according to our expectations, want our child to grow up following a perfect mold that we ourselves cast, want our work to bear fruit even when heaven and earth are entering a dry season. And when everything slips off the rails, we thrash about. We use every argument and ounce of strength to scoop the order back. But then, just like the disturbed lake, the relationships around us begin to crack. The family atmosphere becomes suffocating, and our very souls are riddled with wounds created by resistance. The Buddhist teaching on letting go never asks you to deny your responsibilities, abandon your loved ones, or discard your beautiful ambitions. Letting go here is letting go of the obsession to control the outcome. It is when you still devote all your love to caring for a seedling, but are ready to accept and smile if one day it chooses to stretch its branches in a different direction. That is an art of living that demands a high level of awakening, loving without binding, giving your ultimate effort without forcing the result.
How can our hands learn to open up amidst the many storms of everyday life? Let us begin with the smallest things, right at this very breath. Next time, when you feel the wave of anger or anxiety surging because something didn't go your way, an unjustified criticism from a boss, a missed train on a cold, rainy day, or someone who made a promise and then forgot, instead of rushing into an argument or tormenting yourself in suffering, take a step back. Imagine that frustration as a dark cloud drifting across the sky of your mind. You don't need to chase the cloud away, nor should you try to hide it in your pocket. You just need to stand there, breathe, and act as a silent observer. Whisper to yourself, "This is happening. I see it, and I allow it to pass." When you stop resisting, that cloud will automatically drift away, according to the law of arising and passing. That is the first exercise of surrendering to the present. Surrendering is not cowardice. It is the profound wisdom of realizing that there are raindrops that fall for no reason at all. And our job is not to resent the blue sky or try to block the raindrops, but to learn how to smile and dance beneath that rain shower. Peace will weave its way into your soul the exact moment you stop asking the question, "Why me?" and begin to accept everything is just as it is. As I sit here, pouring these words into your stream of consciousness, I do not expect you to immediately drop every burden off your shoulders after just one night. The process of stripping away the armor of control always comes with a feeling of being unmoored, empty, and even intensely afraid. Exactly like someone accustomed to walking in the dark, suddenly being overwhelmed by the sunlight. There will be days when you find yourself falling back into old habits, worrying again, wanting to tightly grasp everything in despair again. That is perfectly fine. Please be gentle with your own stumbles. We are all just small travelers learning to cross the desert of the mind. And sometimes, the simplest thing we can do to start learning how to let go is to bravely name the pains we have been trying so hard to hide. Right in this moment, amidst the quiet space connecting our two souls through this small screen, what is making your heart feel heavy? Is it a relationship that is slowly fracturing, an invisible pressure from a murky future, or the unceasing torment over a mistake in the past? Leave a few words down in the comment section as a way to bare your soul and send your sorrows away for the wind to carry off. You don't need to be strong or perfect here. You just need to be honest with yourself. Writing it out is the first exhalation of letting go, so you can see that you are absolutely not alone in the struggle against these illusions of ignorance.
Every line you bravely leave behind, every sigh you allow yourself to release, will merge into the peaceful flow of the universe, becoming particles of silt that enrich our collective awakening. Practicing letting go is just like thoughtfully tidying up your inner room after a long, gloomy winter. For years, you have been carrying too much bulky furniture, outdated expectations, and rusted traumas, packing them tightly into every nook and cranny, to the point where there is no room left for peace to breathe. When you begin to refuse the right to control all things, clearing away the resentments, you might feel a strange emptiness, but please do not be afraid, because it is precisely in that spacious, empty room that the primordial light can rush in, the fresh breeze of freedom can circulate, and a new seed of serenity can find fertile soil to stretch out and multiply. Turn relaxation into a sacred ritual every morning when you wake up. Stand before the mirror, look deep into your own clear eyes, and tell yourself, "Today, I will live fully in every fraction of a second, do my part the best I can, and peacefully embrace whatever arrangements heaven and earth have made. I will no longer demand that all things bend and turn to my will, because I know a beautifully profound truth. The universe always has its own perfect order of arrangement, one that is far greater, far more compassionate, and far more miraculous than the finite calculations of the human mind."
The journey we have just traversed is not an effort to become someone greater or to attain some supernatural power. On the contrary, it is a pilgrimage walking backwards to our original state, where your soul is inherently a space of pure, empty, and complete tranquility. We have walked a very long circle, tasting all the bitterness of trying to mold the world, only to finally realize the more we try to grasp, the more we flounder. The more we crave control, the more we tie ourselves into prisoners of hard labor within the very kingdom of the mind we erected. The secret of letting go, ultimately, lies entirely in one single word: acceptance. Recognizing the presence of all things in the present moment. Accepting the law of impermanence as an unchangeable natural truth of arising and passing. When you stop demanding that the river flow upstream, you will learn how to sit calmly on a small bamboo boat, enjoying the magnificent scenery casting shadows on both banks. You are no longer someone raising your guard to fight against fate, but have become someone fully appreciating the beautiful painting of human existence. This life, after all, is just a roadside inn for our souls to stop by and learn a few lessons about love and awakening. Do not carry too much heavy luggage of manipulation. Let your shoulders be light, wandering freely with the clouds and the sky.
Tonight, when you close your eyes and prepare to sink into sleep, try to visualize your hands gently opening up, palms facing the vast silent night sky. All your sorrows, all your calculations, all your cravings to manipulate the outcomes of tomorrow, let them transform into glowing golden dust, riding the night wind to fly back to the source of the universe. You are safe, you are protected, and you can absolutely place your trust in the miraculous arrangements of heaven and earth. There is no handful of sand that needs to be squeezed until you bleed, nor is there any moon at the bottom of a lake that requires you to dive down and scoop it up. The true moonlight, the most primal and pure halo of light, has been and is shining radiantly right within your own heart, if only you are quiet enough to see through to it. Tomorrow, when the first ray of dawn knocks on your door, step out into the world with a naked yet immensely courageous heart. Love all things with a vast tolerance, and let the people you love, the things you do, be free to be exactly who and what they are. just like how you smile and step back, allowing a wildflower to freely bloom and radiate its fragrance by the side of the road.
Our ferry of words today shall gently drop its anchor at this shore of awakening. If the whispers just now were like a cool, refreshing stream, washing away a bit of worldly dust weighing heavily on your shoulders, if they brought you a rare moment of tranquility amidst the rushing flow of life, please preserve this good karma with a channel subscription. That tiny touch is not just warm support for the one sowing the seeds, but also a silent promise to your own inner self that we will continue to walk together on the path back to our original peace. Don't forget to leave the notification bell on so that whenever your heart is weathered by a storm, we can find each other again in a pure space like this, drinking a cup of tea together and untangling the knots of the soul. Wishing you a good night's sleep with a heart as light as a fluttering leaf and hands that always know how to open up to embrace the full compassion of the entire universe. Goodbye, and see you again in the light of peaceful awakening.